And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Welcome to the Dice Tower.
Hey everyone, I'm Tom. These are my three daughters, Melody, Amy, and Holly. Today we're looking at a game called Fueredrachen. This actually says Fueredrachen. This is a game from HABA, which makes some of the best kid games in the world. It's in a big yellow box, that's how you know. This is a game about flying dragons around a volcano and collecting rubies. Now we all know that rubies are good because we have a real life ruby here with us. But we want to get the most rubies. All right, you're in too. Here's a real life ruby. Let's take a look at the game and we'll be right back. At the beginning of the game, each player gets a bag, and in that bag they're going to put 3 rubies and 3 carbons. So this is the red dragon's bag. There's a bag for each player. Then the players are going to each place 2 of their dragons, one on both sides of the volcano, and then one player is chosen to go first, and that person's going to roll the dice. So since this game has rubies in it, we're going to have Ruby help us. So Ruby, go ahead and roll those dice. All right, just throw them. I'll throw them here on the board, right here. Okay, go ahead, drop them. Alright, so Ruby rolled a 1 and a 1. When you roll 2 numbers, 2 different things happen. You use one of those numbers to pick one of your dragons and move that far clockwise. And you choose the other one and throw that many rubies into this volcano in the middle. So Ruby put 1 ruby into the volcano. Alright. So then, if it was my turn, I roll 3 and 3. So I do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. And I take 3 rubies and drop them in the volcano. Now you go. Roll. And roll right here. Okay, now Ruby rolled a 3 and a volcano. So first, she's going to launch the volcano. So she's going to lift the top of the volcano straight up. So pick that and pick it straight up. Yep, lift it straight up. Now when that happens, the rubies fall out. Now you'll notice, by the way, that this volcano is made of 2 different aluminum pieces here that fit together like that. It's pretty cool, actually. So each of these rubies is going to fall into a certain sector. You'll notice that these 2 fell into a sector where my dragon is, so I'm going to add these 2 to my bag. Now Ruby can move one of her dragon's 3 spaces. So she can move 1, 2, 3, or she can move this one 3. Now, if you roll the volcano and there's nothing in it, let's say I roll the volcano on my next turn. In that case, the volcano shows 3 rubies on it. I'd place those 3 rubies into the volcano. And if you roll double volcanoes, which is possible, at that point you would throw 3 into the, and then you would lift it up. So it's really fun, of course, when there's a lot of rubies in there and you get to pick it up. Let's put a pile of rubies in there. All right, Ruby, now let's lift it up now. Oh, that's pretty cool, right? All those rubies fell on the board. Another thing that happens is if you land on another player's dragon, then you get to go into their bag and steal a ruby out of it randomly. Hopefully you get a ruby and not a piece of carbon, because those are worthless at the end of the game. Also, if you land on rubies when you're moving around, all the rubies in the space you get. When rubies fall out of the volcano, if there's multiple dragons there, neither one of them gets the rubies. And that's basically it. You keep playing till there's no more rubies left to put in the volcano, and then you count the rubies in the bag, not counting carbon, and whoever has the most rubies is the winner. This will continue. The next person picks a color bird, rolls the dice, and each die has different sides, and you will move it till you get to that side. And then you'll just take one of the worms and try and drop it in that color. If it works, you cover it with a beak. Otherwise, you put it in front of you. If you have more worms, and if you run out of worms, basically the worms you stuck in front of you, before you put beaks in them, then everybody loses. But if you put a beak in all of them, then you win. You can also play competitively to see who gets the fewest worms put in front of them and manages to feed the most. But with little kids, it works best as a cooperative game. All right, what do you guys think of the game? We'll start with Holly. Holly, what do you think of this game?
I liked it because mostly there I loved putting the rubies inside and flying my dragon around.
Okay, Amy?
I like this game, and I like getting all the rubies when the volcano exploded.
and especially when the volcano was really full.
Right, it's fun. It's fun when you don't roll volcanoes for a while because you can lift it up and drop it. Melody?
It was an okay little kid game. I liked how when you lifted up the thing and you tried to collect all the rubies. But my favorite part was when you had to give some of your rubies to another player.
You like to give up your rubies?
No, when they try to get your rubies and they got the black ones.
Ah. Yeah.
Took any of my rubies.
Okay.
They never even tried.
He took both of my black ones.
Okay, now that's not the point. Okay, to see who's bad in these kind of games. This game is obviously geared towards children. It's obviously going to be, I mean, there are some mechanisms in it that allow, I mean, obviously there's a fun thing, throwing rubies in and lifting it up. That's fun. But also trying to figure out where to land. So it teaches kids you have a choice to move 2 different dragons and sometimes a choice between 2 different numbers. Where will you go to get rubies? Where will you go to land on someone else and steal their ruby? Throwing the rubies in a volcano and lifting it up and seeing them fall out. That's just a cool thing that the whole game revolves around. And I think it's neat. It's a neat idea and it's something that kids are going to enjoy a lot. So, final thoughts?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, Holly? Melody?
For the little kids.
For little kids. Well, Melody may say it's for little kids, but I enjoyed it a bit. So, that's Fueredrachen.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.